Welcome to part 3 of Competency 11. In this video, we will answer questions involving volume of 3D figures. Number 1, the surface area of a cube is 486 inches squared. What is the volume? Okay, we know that the surface area of any cube is the 6 faces times the sides squared. And in this case, that will equal 486. So what do we need to do? We divide both sides by 6, okay? And that will give us, now, I'm going to go ahead and kind of skip a step. We are putting both sides under the radical. So that will equal S. And then under the radical, we get 486 divided by 6. So that will give us, let's go ahead and put that in the calculator. We have second radical 486 divided by 6. And that gives us a side length of 9. So then it says, what is the volume? Well, volume of a cube is just the length of the sides to the third power. So we have 9 to the third. We still have 9 in the calculator. All we have to do is carry it up, push 3. Notice that the calculator knows what we're doing, and just push enter. And that gives us the volume. Okay. Then for number 2, let's see what we have here. It says, the volume of a rectangular prism is twice that of a cube whose edge is 5. If the edge and width of the rectangular prism are, if the length and width are 10 and 4 respectively, what is the height? Okay, well, we just need to write down what we know, okay? All right, so the first thing we say is, okay, and let me get my pen to work. There it is. Okay, we know that volume equals, okay, of a cube, it says the volume of a rectangular prism is that of twice, 2 times, and well, that means it's twice the volume of a cube. Okay, so we need 2 times, and we just talked about the volume of a cube. So that would be 5 to the third. Yes. Okay, so what would that equal? Then we come over here. Well, we know that we get volume of the rectangular prism by 10 times the 4 times the height. Now, we just need to divide both these sides by 10 times 4. Okay, I'm going to rewrite that, okay? So 2 times 5 to the third over 40 equals height. And if we put that in the calculator, we have what we need. So let's try that, okay? Right, 2 times 5, carry it up to the third. See how that blinking arrow is? Make sure you arrow over when it tells you to. Then you need to divide by 40. And yes, that gives us 6 1/4. Okay. All right, let's go to number 3. All right. The volume of a cylinder is 600 inches cubed. If the height is 3 times the radius, what is the length of the radius? So we are trying to solve for R. So this is what we're really doing. We are taking the volume. And actually, maybe if I'll go ahead and write this out first. Okay, we know that the volume of a cylinder is, okay? It is the base, the area of the base times the height, right? And the area of the base is pi r squared, okay, times the height. But the height is 3 times the radius. So that equals 3r. 3r, and that's all equal to the 600. Okay, so what do we really have? Let's rewrite this. We have 3r to the third. You have to multiply those. Means adding the exponents. And then we have pi hanging around. And then we have 600. Okay, but really, what are we doing? You know what? Let me rewrite this even differently. And I want to, because I'm looking over here at my answer choices, and they are not in terms of pi. So we have to consider pi a number with the coefficient. So this tells me that we are dividing both sides by 3 pi. Okay? And then what's really going to happen? We are going to, this cancels out, and then both sides need to be put under the cube root. So if we take the cube root of r to the third, that will give us r, but then we have to do it over here, and that will give us 600 over 3 pi. Now this is where I want to give you a very serious warning. You will not get the answer you need if you try to put this in like it is, exactly. You can do two things. You can put a parentheses around 3 pi before you divide by it, or you can simplify and put it in like this. Okay, we put 3 here, and then divide 6 by 3. This is 200, and then just divide that by pi. Okay? Otherwise, you get an incorrect situation. So let me show you what will happen, right? First, let's get the correct answer, all right? So let's do that first. So what do we need to do? We need to say alpha window, and we need to go to number 6. That gives us that root setup. So we can put any root in we want. We need the cube root. And then see how it says arrow over. Okay, now I'm going to do this 600 and then divide, and I'm putting in parentheses 3 second caret up gives me my pi. Close that, and I want to go ahead and arrow over. Now let's push enter, and yes, C is the option we're looking for. Now let's put that in correctly. So I'm going to go up, capture it, pull it down. Now I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to put in 3 second caret up, and then let's see, I'm going to delete some things. Okay, I'm going to put it in the way we had it before when I gave you the warning. Okay, all right, so now that's what happens. And that is an answer choice on the test, and it would make you think you're correct. Well, on this sample question, rather. So be very careful. Double check your order of operations. So let's say that we simplify it. Now let's go back and try that again with a simplified version. Okay, so I'm going to enter to bring it down. I'm going to arrow over. I want a 200 there. I'm going to go to the 3, delete it. Okay, now let's push enter. Okay, now we have the correct answer. So that's just a little note saying, hey, be careful, double check it. You can make mistakes that aren't in, I mean, as far as if I was grading a paper like this, I saw it on paper, I'd say, ooh, that's great, perfect, you know what you're doing. But then when you put it in the calculator, then everything goes amiss. Okay, let's move on. Number 4, a regular pyramid with a square base has a volume of 250. Each side of the base is 9 meters. What is the perpendicular height? So they mean that we have 9 here and 9 here. So the area of the base, or capital B, is 81. So what we have is base times height. and they're saying, what is the perpendicular height? Okay, so basically, this is what we can do. We have base times height. So 81. Actually, I'm going to start from the very beginning. We have we have the base, which is 9 times 9 because it says regular and it says square base. So you have 9 squared, okay, times height equals 250. Okay. And then all of that area of the base times height divided by 3, because that is the formula for a pyramid and a cone. Also, we have to divide by 3, remember? Okay. So what are we going to do here? Right. So we have to multiply both sides by 3. So times 3 times 3. There we go. Okay. Now let's rewrite. So we end up with 9 squared times the height equals 3. Oops, that would be a 2. 250 times 3. 250 times 3. Divide by the 9 squared on both sides. And this is what we put into our calculator. And we should be good to go. All right, so let's give it a go. All right. 250, 250 times the 3, divide by the 9 to the second power. And yes, what does that give us? Yes, with some rounding, 9.26 meters. Great. Okay. Number 5. Let's scoot up a bit. All right. Number 5, the volume of a cone is 2,400 centimeters cubic. If the radius is 12, how long is the perpendicular height? Okay, like I said, we will also be dividing by the 3. Okay, because it is a cone. Let's see, the volume is, all right, so we have the volume is 240. Okay, and we divide by 3, but we need base times height. So what are we going to do here? We have pi r squared times height. Pi r squared times the height. Okay, so we need to multiply both sides by 3 times 3 times 3. Cancel out, cancel out. Okay, now let's rewrite. So we have, let's see, and we are not leaving it in terms of pi. Okay, so this means we have pi r squared times height equals 2,400 times 3. Now we divide by the pi r squared. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I did not fill in. I am so sorry. I did not fill in the radius before I got going. So that did not help much at all. So let's kind of recap this. Yeah, it's lots of fun seeing what mistakes people make, right? Okay, now I'm just joking around. Okay, and that is equal. Yes. Okay, so what do we really have? Let's do this correctly. We have 12 squared pi times the height equals 2,400. All of this side is divided by 3. Okay, now we multiply both sides by 3, and that means this is canceled. Let's rewrite 12 to the second power times the pi times the height, 2,400 times the 3. Divide both sides by 12 squared pi, 12 squared pi. That means this cancels out, and this is what we put in the calculator. Okay, so let's do that. 2,400 times 3. Now, we know that we have to be careful when we're putting, we actually divide and there's pi in there. So let's divide and use parentheses. 12. Every now and again, it doesn't work out. So let's go second, caret up, which gives us our pi, close our parentheses. Okay. And that gives us option A, which is correct. Okay. And I apologize for my little moment of mistakes. I'm looking over at my notes, and sometimes I don't write the correct thing down. Okay. And then I look at it and it doesn't look correct. Anyway, let's move on to number 6. If the radius of the sphere is 15 inches, what is the volume of the sphere in cubic feet? Okay, I can already see that we need to be careful with this inches and this feet. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're dealing with. We know that volume would be, now I'm going to write this in a specific way and show you some situations. Okay, 4 over 3. Now, I usually like to say 4 r squared pi, divide the whole thing by 3. Formula sheets don't show you that, and for this situation, probably best not to do that. Okay, now, we have a radius of 15 inches. To get it into feet, we need to divide by, okay? So we are going to multiply. So, okay, I need to go down. There it is. Lost my pen. Got to get it back. Okay, we need to divide by 15, multiply by 15 divided by 12. And that's our new radius. And we put that up to the third power. And now we have our pi. Now, of course, you could go ahead and calculate the 15 divided by 12 to the third power. Honestly, I don't think there's a reason to do that, but I can tell you that 15 divided by the 12 equals 1.25. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it in the calculator, and it looks like we are in terms of pi, so I'm going to leave pi hanging out on the end, okay? So we have, I'm going to use parentheses for everything just in case. 4 divided by 3, parentheses. Then parentheses, and 15 divided by 12, close my parentheses. Second, caret up. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, no. I wanted caret up 3, okay? All right, let's double check since I made boo-boos. Okay, we don't want pi. Pi is hanging on the end because everything's in terms of pi. Okay, so now we have what we want for the coefficient part. Push enter. And let's see. Yes, that is correct. With some rounding, of course. That is option B. Okay, that's the last question for this video. And once again, I've been looking at everyone watching. That's awesome. I hope that you do well on your test and that I'm helping you at least in the smallest way. If anything, giving you confidence that you know everything that I'm doing. And please share us, like us, and don't forget to subscribe. Happy testing!